It's no newsflash that the media has it out for President Trump. There are some new eye-opening statistics to support that. The Media Research Center has been closely monitoring coverage on the evening newscast on ABC, CBS, and NBC. The reporting on the president has been 91% negative over the past 3 months. Here's Mr. Trump's response to that. Wow. More than 90% of fake news media coverage of me is negative, with numerous forced retractions of untrue stories. Hence, my use of social media, the only way to get the truth out. Much of mainstream media has become a joke, Jesse.
Yeah, the joke's on them.
At Fox and Friends. You didn't plug the show.
Doesn't he do that for every tweet?
Yes, I think so. It's automatic.
It's automatic now. The media has been very consistent covering the president, consistently biased. The first 100 days, 90% negative. The summer, same study, 90% negative. And now the last 3 months, 90% negative. Now, Juan always says, when we do this segment every 3 months, that, well, the president's job performance has been rough. You know, we had the travel ban rejected, couldn't repeal Obamacare, we had Charlottesville, all that mess, special counsel. But I think every fair-minded person can agree within the last 3 months, the president has performed much better. Kelly has straightened out the White House personnel. Great recovery efforts with the hurricane. The Asia swing was a very good success. And the stock market and the GDP have been astonishing. And no collusion proven yet anyway. So why is it still 90% negative? I think it's pretty obvious. They hate him.
Okay, so Marie, what do we say? How can you defend the mainstream media?
Well, I think that the media has done some things wrong in the last year, and they've also done some things right.
Okay.
They've broken big stories. They've provided information to the American public. This just focused on the evening newscasts on those 3 networks. So it didn't look at everything. It didn't look at newspapers, I don't think. And
that would make it 95%.
And I also say it's sort of like the chicken and the egg. You know, President Trump has called the media the enemy of the American people. On the campaign trail, he routinely went after reporters when they ran stories he didn't like. So he has not ever, you know, expressed anything but disdain for them. And so it's not surprising that some of this would end up being negative. I've also said they need to do even better because of that. They're under such scrutiny. These corrections, these wrong stories, they hurt all journalists, and I think that's a problem.
All right, Dana, so these numbers, I guess, pretty much they're consistent with what we've seen in the past.
Yeah,
although
I don't
Jesse
expect
thinks it's low.
I don't expect it's going to change necessarily because I think it's working for those networks, right? And everybody in media, everyone's seeing subscriptions are up, ratings are up, people are engaged, people are watching, social media engagement is up, and that's true for the networks. And also, I think this type of thing works in the president's favor. He has a rock solid base of support. They love to hear about this. They all believe it. They think that the media is terrible. And so he repeats it in a way to actually bolster his base.
All right. So, Greg, what can you do to fix all of this?
Well, you know, what's the narrative we keep hearing that journalism and media is under threat? Even President Obama compared the Trump administration to Hitler because, you know, nobody was standing up. The media has never been more invigorated under Donald Trump. He has made media great again because he's woken them up from their Obama coma from 8 years where they did nothing. They couldn't do anything. They weren't doing any investigative journalism because they didn't want to hurt their leader. But now what's happening is Trump has made the media better. I said this a couple days ago because every mistake they make validates his opinion that it's fake news, so they have an extra incentive not to screw up, because if they screw up, Trump looks better. So they are becoming really, really good at their job after basically, you know, hibernating for 8 years.
He also
Trump.
He's also out all the time. Like every day, he's driving the news from early in the morning till late at night, and so there's just more news to cover, and that might actually be fitting into these numbers.
Well, and he also says that he has no choice, that he has to take to social media himself to be able to get the messaging and the truth out. So this study actually supports the idea that he's doing that to try to get his version, I guess, of what's transpiring.